We got the Detroit clip there, Sam Roberts.
Yes. Detroit.
I watched Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown. I highly recommend you watch the Detroit episode, especially.
Pretty frightening.
Oh man, did I learn about Detroit last night?
Detroit.
They said 80,000 buildings are abandoned.
80,000 abandoned
in the Detroit
buildings.
area.
Fantastic.
And some of those are massive factories. Massive factories that are a mile long.
Don't need those
completely
anymore.
abandoned.
If you're not making anything, why do you need factories, right?
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain. That show is amazing. It's shot beautifully. It's a great show. And the Detroit episode, he's wandering around with a guy that really knows the city. And he was pointing out buildings of the Detroit skyline.
Yeah.
And he goes, you see that building? I forgot exactly, but he said that green one or that gray one. He goes, that's completely abandoned. Like skyscrapers, completely abandoned. Then he goes, you see that one? It was another beautiful looking skyscraper in the distance. He said that one recently sold for $5 million.
For an entire skyscraper.
Yeah, and then Anthony Bourdain said, you can't even, what did he say, buy a bathroom in the Hamptons for that or something like that. But if you're brave enough and think that city's going to turn around, which Anthony Bourdain said over and over again, there's no fucking way that Detroit ever comes back.
No, they don't have a product.
You could buy a skyscraper for $5 million if you could get that type of money together.
Yeah.
And then he was talking about the fire department up there. I had no idea, but these guys are fighting so many fires on a daily basis. And the problem is the housing market is so shitty. You could buy a house, which we've done on the show. You looked. You could buy a house for like $500. So these people that own these houses are like, I can't get anything for my fucking house. I might as well burn it down and get the insurance money. Oh. And they're getting away with it because the police force is so spread out that they're not even investigating all the fires that they know are arson. They know a shitload of these fires are arson, but they're not investigating.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's other people that are just burning down the neighborhood houses because they want to stay, but the crackheads and all are taking over these houses, so they're burning those houses down. Like, fuck that, not in my neighborhood that's already rotting away. You got to see it. It's amazing.
Are there any wealthy areas of Detroit?
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm sure there are.
I mean, this is the city. This is the city. The city itself. I'm sure if you move further out, it's a lot better. But
and they've pulled in the borders of the city.
Right.
They've pulled it in and just left this no man's land of abandoned buildings.
But in a creepy way, watching the show, it was beautiful. Some of the shots of these rotting buildings with the ivy completely taking over these houses that looked like they were mansions at one time.
Yeah, it looks
old
like
school
those
mansions.
TV shows like After Earth and
exactly.
Stuff
And there's no services left, so they're not taking care of the parks for the kids anymore. There's no buses running anymore. They said the last chain supermarket left the city, I think, 2 years ago. So they don't even have a supermarket in the city. Although Whole Foods recently, I guess, moved in. But
isn't that amazing?
All the money we give to other countries and stuff, and if we can't make it work here, how do we expect other?
I don't know how you make it work.
Countries to make their shitty little areas.
Because that's what Bourdain was saying. There's a lot of entrepreneurs moving to Detroit,
right?
But he doesn't know how the fuck this thing ever comes back.
There's no industry there. The whole city was built on industry.
Right? Is it? Yeah. This is the opening shot. Can you go back?
It's gone.
Even just the setup of this show, we can play.
Oh, yeah.
That's a major city.
Look how beautifully this was shot as well.
Yeah.
Maybe the worms started to turn here. The Packard Automotive Plant.
Packard.
Opened in 1903, it was considered the most advanced facility of its kind anywhere in the world. Huge. Epically proportioned. I mean 3.5 million square feet.
Look at that. Wow, that's a lot.
Completely abandoned.
Now, one man lives here.
This guy decided to live in the whole
Hill.
plant.
Nice.
My name's Alan Hill. Welcome to my home.
I'm a nut.
This room right here is the
welcome to my home.
It was a former Packard Motor Car Company. I started living here about 7 years ago. At that time, I was semi-apprehensive about the place and the going-ons around here, but it turned out it's about as peaceful as the Northwoods. And not having a credit card or a mortgage payment or a car payment is a real blessing.
It's like the fucking Road Warrior.
Yeah.
What's happened here in Detroit is unfortunate, but it's a sign of the times.
Thunderdome.
We find out that not only does it take a village to raise an individual, it takes an entire world to support one city. When city's suffering or when community's suffering, the entire world should pitch in and help elevate it instead of sit there and stare at it.
I have a lot of things on order, credit troubles.
Right. But he doesn't seem that crazy at all.
Right.
No, he's just getting a free
It was
free shelter.
It was great, man. I'm telling you, Anthony Bourdain, bravo.
Wow.
Bravo on another great season of Parts Unknown.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of the show.
What can Detroit what can they do to come back, or what can that city have that...
They're doing urban farming, and the reason they're doing urban farming is because the people need vegetables, fruits and vegetables. So they said, "All right, fuck it," and they're just planting wherever they want, basically, because no one's telling them no. And then they're giving the vegetables and the fruits to the locals for a very cheap price. And then people are just. The human spirit is alive and well in Detroit. One guy saw that all these city parks were just overgrown with grass and the kids have nowhere to play. So he got a whole bunch of guys together with their fucking lawnmowers. And what they do for free, they go from park to park mowing down the lawn. They go, look, it still looks kind of shitty, but at least, he said, at least the parents could see their kids now. Because the grass was pretty much over their heads.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then I think there's someone in Detroit's got to help me out. There's a whole town where they made it into some kind of art project, and something like 35,000 people, or 3,500, I forgot the number exactly, but a lot of people are going to just this town to check out the artwork because they're turning these houses into fucking works of art. I want to go there so bad. If I knew I was pretty safe, I would love to take a tour of some of these areas.
You can be safe. You get just like you do in foreign countries. You just make sure you get an escort, like a police guard or somebody you trust.
I don't know how you'd fucking fix.
There is a way. There absolutely is a way.
Well, let's go to Jason in Detroit. He says the show doesn't even do it justice how bad it is up here. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, morning, boys.
Hey,
if you want to come to Detroit, best thing to do is stay out of the city. Like Royal Oak is a real good area. They have it's just that's kind of like the downtown where the suburban people go is Royal Oak. And
no, I don't want to. I want to go to see.
I know, I'm just
to see the Rock.
No, I know. Just say to spend the night.
Oh, okay.
So when you go into the city, that's your base. Royal Oak would be your base.
Nice.
Then you get an escort into the city. There's sections down there like that Packard plant. There was a big story down in Detroit, a college girl, Wayne State, which is this college in the city. Her bodies are dumped at that Packard plant all the time.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, see, they didn't say that on Parts Unknown.
Yeah, it's the odd part is I work in the city. I don't live in the city because I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Hold on. Let me control this a little bit. So you work in the city. But the city is it's pretty much not abandoned totally, but there's so much abandoned buildings down there. How does it look going into the city to work?
It's odd because you'll have houses upon houses, then you'll see burnt out houses. Then, like I'm a truck driver. Our facility is based there. The only reason it's based there is because the land was so cheap.
Right.
But we have 15-foot high fences all around it, and it guards constantly. Because we don't want our stuff taken.
Right.
Fucking humongous comes out with the fucking shit. You got to squirt hoses at him.
They said the Packard plant was in relatively good shape until 5 years ago, and then everyone stripped it, for the copper and all that. They came in and said they saw an opportunity. Said, "Fuck,
scavengers.
There's a lot of shit here that we could sell."
Is it possible to begin creating a new car there? It became too expensive, and now it's all foreign shit. Is there anything else that can be manufactured there? In New York, we have these smart cars. I'm not saying that's the answer, but is there anything they can begin making there that they can just kind of rebuild themselves?
I think the reality is it's not worth the country's time.
Well, they have a gentleman, I can't remember what he's in charge. He's in charge of one of the mortgage companies. They did a piece on him on 60 Minutes, and he's actually rebuilding the downtown area. He's giving out cheap rents to bring in companies. He's buying buildings, refurbishing them, and telling other industry, hey, you come here, I'll give you free rent in my building. Just come to Detroit. I forget his name, it's escaping me.
Right.
But he's doing the best he can, and like we've had mayors, the history of our mayors are the greatest. You guys can look them up. We got the last one is going to jail for.
We know about
corruption.
Quamby, right, or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
he's
Mayor Quimby. That's from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
What's his name, the mayor?
Quamby, I think, something like that, right?
It's Kwame Kilpatrick.
Yeah. All right.
Nice Irish boy.
Thank you, sir. Let me give a few more people a chance here. Let's go to Rob in Jersey. Rob.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man. And the next call, if it's real, is going to freak out a lot of people. But first, Rob, go ahead.
Okay. You guys were talking about the Detroit Fire Department. They actually released a documentary a year or two ago called Burn, and they followed the fire department for a year. It was interesting just watching it. They're talking about how they fight like 500 arson-related fires a month.
See?
Same building 3 or 4 times,
And the fire department's up there. There's no funding, so all their equipment is shitty.
Oh, yeah. I'm a firefighter, paramedic.
And they closed down, half the houses, I think?
Yeah, I'm a firefighter and a paramedic in New Jersey, and whenever we want to feel better about our circumstances, I work in an inner city here in Jersey. Whenever we want to feel better about our circumstances, we just watch YouTube videos of Detroit.
Yeah.
Paramedics trapped out on, I think it was New Year's Eve or something, getting shot at, and their truck's dead, they can't move, and it's a train wreck out there.
And was that documentary, wasn't Dennis Leary part of that?
Say again?
Was Dennis Leary part of that documentary, I'm hearing?
Yeah, his foundation.
All right, where the fuck do I find this? You think it's on Netflix?
It might be on Netflix. I'm not sure. I actually saw it on physical media because I keep it old school.
It's probably on YouTube. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
YouTube.
You can at least find a 10-minute teaser online somewhere. It's
right.
Scary.
All right, sir. Thank you. I got to get to this next call. I can't. I don't. There's no way this is true. Jim, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Hey.
I heard a report that there had bear sightings inside the city limits of Detroit.
Bears.
There is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, you always wonder, we live in New York City, and you wonder, eventually time is going to reclaim most of these cities.
Uh-huh.
And you always wonder what would happen.
Jeez, yeah.
Supposedly, there's close to 100,000 dogs, wild dogs.
Stray wild dogs.
Wow.
Damn.
And I'm a truck driver.
All right.
Turned around, I pulled into a street, went in, gave them my paperwork, came back out. On a main road, broad daylight, in front of a security shed. They pulled up, hooked the chain to the back of my truck, ripped my door open, and sold 400 pounds of meat in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes.
And it took 2.5 hours for the cops to get out there to fill a report.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
Wow.
And Anthony Bourdain asked a question. Could you imagine what this place is going to look at in another 5 years, 10 years,
yeah. Just
20
deteriorating
years?
more
That's
and
not
more.
a lot of time for most people, so they're going to get to see some shit.
I say we take off and nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
What they're doing, too, is to keep the crime statistics down.
Yeah.
Is they don't fill out a report anymore when they come out. You have to come down to the police department between 9 to 5 to fill out a report, or else they won't take it in the field.
Wow, they won't even come down and.
There's a weird thing. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Didn't they fix the downtown area recently, within the last 15 years or so? And when the new is there a new Tiger Stadium?
Oh yeah, if you're by the casino, you're fine. 'Cause you got Tiger Stadium, a few of the big amphitheaters. But you go 2 blocks the opposite direction. Good luck if you need help.
Man.
I mean, it's a 2-block difference. You go 2 blocks past the casino, you're
they've circled the wagons.
Right.
And what are they down to?
You have a good day.
I think that, what were the numbers? They're down to 700,000 people in the city.
It's been an exodus.
Obviously, it was well over 1 million back in the day. Let me say hi to Kevin in Michigan. Kevin.
Yeah, what's up? I spent a lot of time in Detroit. I just want to say something about the burning down of the houses. They actually burn them down. People light them on fire, so the fire department comes in and puts the fire out, which strips all the material and leaves the metal exposed. So then they can go in and clean out the metal. So they hang out and watch, they watch the fire department put the fire out, and then as soon as the fire department leaves, they run in there,
grab the copper and fucking. Oh, that's great.
People are doing what they have to.
I love the city, though, man. You got to go check it out. Go, like the last guy said, go down to Greektown Casino. There's new ballparks, new football fields. It's not that bad. If you go 2 blocks out, you're fucked, though. I mean, it's scary, man.
I don't want to go to the place that isn't bad.
And in all fairness, people are saying it's not as bad as people are saying, but I learned last night 80,000 buildings are abandoned. That's a massive number.
Fucking amazing.
All right, let me say hi to Nick in New York. He's a truck driver that goes through Detroit. Nick.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey.
Boy.
Hey, man, I was just there last week. I grew up being a Detroit Red Wings fan, and we used to go over there all the time when the city was still alive. But the fucking place now, man, it looks like that show After People. I mean, there's certain roads you go down, like you were just talking about, Opie, where the shit's just so grown up and it's all abandoned. And you got to be careful where you go, because I've had multiple things falling off my truck, man, just sitting for a couple hours, and they'll get whatever they can.
Doesn't that sound amazing, though, to go check out, as long as you knew you were safe?
Right? You think you could park a running Escalade on the side of the road and just kind of walk away from it a little while?
You know what,
could be
dude?
okay?
I don't know, man. Probably not.
No? Oh, I thought it sounded like you could. Damn.
This guy could answer the story. I guess his father was a cop. John in Detroit. John.
Father's a cop, you idiot.
What's up?
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Yeah, no, Detroit's really as bad as it is, to tell you the truth. I grew up down there probably like 80 to 89. My dad was a cop down there for like 26 years, so I saw everything firsthand happen. It's as bad, if not worse, than what he showed on his show.
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain, I don't know. He was romanticizing a little bit, because I was wondering about, the drugs and the murder and the dead bodies, which we learned about today, in that same Packard plant that he filmed so beautifully for his show last night.
Jesus.
Not taking anything away from Anthony Bourdain. That show is amazing, but
it's bad. I mean, you get down there, like the Comerica area where like the Tigers play, and like Ford Field. But a block out of that, it's like game over with. Like the lights are off, street lights, like it's a done deal. Like especially like walking out of like Tiger Stadium or like Ford Field. Like I remember we were down there when that the guy in Florida that killed that kid. What's his face?
The guy in Florida who killed the kid?
Yeah, the
Trayvon Martin thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Zimmerman.
When they released
when
they released that verdict, we were driving from Detroit through Hamtramck, and Hamtramck's 1,000 times worse than Detroit is. It's a war zone.
Wow.
And all the streetlights are off, and you just see these thugs walking down the street, and you don't know what to do. I mean, especially coming out of the suburbs, and I live in the suburbs, so you can just it's bad. It's really bad.
And who do they blame?
I mean, really, the politics here is what it is. Like the city council is terrible.
Was some of upper management taking a little too much of a taste?
The skim.
I've heard that over the years. Upper management was taking a big fucking taste, ignoring what that would do to everybody.
No,
and then the industry itself obviously collapsed. But
bad.
Huh?
Like that Kwame Kilpatrick, that mayor that's now in prison.
Right.
He had like a big scandal with a construction firm that just I couldn't tell you how many millions of dollars that the city wasted on this guy. They'll never get back.
There's a lot of reasons. I mean, Detroit, it's not one single thing. The corruption over many, many years of corruption. The auto industry, obviously, that took a shit in America. Competitive prices from other countries and stuff. So, what do? You gotta reinvent an entire city.
We're not going to do that.
No, it'll just
America's
sit there
not going to do that.
If we need a place,
they're going to have to luck out. Like some weird thing happens, and someone comes up with some crazy idea, and then all of a sudden just takes off. They're going to have. It's not coming back. Ron in Jersey. Ron.
Hey guys, how you doing, man?
Good, brother. Talking about Detroit.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck Detroit.
Ooh.
The fuckers did it to themselves. That's what happened when fucking progressive liberals run a city into the fucking ground.
That might be that might be a big part of it, but I don't think that's all of it, because the auto industry really is a huge. When the main industry leaves a place, I don't know who could have saved it if the entire industry that the city's built on is gone.
Yeah.
Jimmy, back in the 70s or the 60s, they elected this black guy for mayor who was a
Goldie Wilson, right?
Right, basically a Goldie Wilson, who was a mass racist who fucking drove everybody out of the city and promised everything under the sun to everybody else.
Uh-oh, de Blasio.
Mayor!
Oh, no, we got de Blasio coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Tubes from there.
Maybe I could buy a skyscraper for a few mil.
Yeah, put your bids in.
Fuck Detroit.
Oh,
all right.
We get it. Fuck Detroit.
All right. This guy wants to talk about the strip clubs, though. Let's find out about this. Adam in Florida.
It's got to look like GTA.
Yeah, right? Adam.
How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, I grew up outside of Detroit for 18 years, and you can go down to 8 Mile, where all the strip clubs are, and you go in there, and they ask you, the girls there ask you, do you want dance or dirty dance? And it's pretty much just turned into brothels because the cops don't have enough funds to do anything but homicide and narcotics.
It's turning into the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
It's a huge scientific experiment which is going on there. What happens when everything breaks down?
When the system breaks down.
Yeah, because the police
break down.
They don't have enough time to run around and try to take care of everything.
No.
And these people know that, so why wouldn't you be an opportunist and make something of it?
And if it's just liberals that did that to the city, what about San Francisco? You can't get more liberal than San Francisco or
But
Berkeley.
there's still a lot of industry.
Yeah, they want
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah, I mean, that's why you got, but...
Oh, yeah. When you get a city that's based on a dying industry,
right. That's what I mean.
You're
Yeah,
fucked.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure the corruption didn't help.
Oh God, no.
One more, and then we can move on. Obviously, Stan in Milwaukee. What's up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, so there's a fascinating book about 6 months ago by Charles Duff, and he pretty much writes the entire history of how, or the failures of Detroit. There's one interesting story in there about how families are literally digging up their loved ones out of city limits of Detroit and bringing them out to the suburbs so they no longer have to drive into Detroit.
Wow, even the dead aren't safe there.
So that's big business to exhume your loved ones?
Yeah.
So you don't have to drive into Detroit to see.
So there's a business. Someone probably went,
great.
holy fuck, I can make a lot of money in Detroit.
Get
digging up dead bodies.
And people are going to need the ability to do that.
Yes.
So somebody should open a store where you can get the supplies that might be needed to exhume a loved one.
Exhumation store?
Ted's Full Exhumation Emporium.
Emporium?
Yes.
You going to Detroit, Ted?
Yes, I certainly am. I'm already there, Gregory.
Now, how's it going?
Well, I have an emporium. You can come in and buy a shovel.
What type of stuff do you need for an exhumation?
Shovel, and you need a rope to pull them to their new location. Shovels and ropes. That's the whole store.
No
hearse?
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Gregory. I should incorporate a hearse. No, right now it's just a shovel and a rope.
What about a van or something?
I never thought of a van. I have an open pickup truck so all can see the body and wave at it. And grieve together.
What, you like people waving at the dead bodies?
I certainly do. It'll pick the spirits up. We're showing respect.
How about a backhoe? That's better than shovels.
Oh, that's a good idea, Anthony. I'll put that on the to-do list.
To-do.
I have not sold any shovels yet.
No?
I have to lower the prices.
How much is
$1,500 for a shovel and $1,500 for a piece of rope to drag your loved one.
Now you're taking advantage of people's grief.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to build up my capital.
Yeah, but people don't have that type of money in Detroit. They don't have jobs.
I should have consulted you first, Gregory.
The factories are closing down.
Yes, they are. I got this one dirt cheap.
You can be a consultant for him.
Very good.
$1,500 for a shovel. That's steep.
Auto workers wanted too much money. This guy's blaming the auto workers.
That's another thing.
Because the auto workers wanted too much money. I got to see that Dennis Leary Detroit Fire Department documentary, Burn. That sounds cool.
Yeah, when the auto industry has the employees under the auto workers union is fucking crazy. Wow. And, they wanted the same money they were making even when the American car business was dying, and they pretty much bid themselves out of work.
That's why I don't understand Eminem. He's an angry motherfucker, and he's probably the only person to ever, leave Detroit and do really well for himself.
Damn.
So why is he
angry? What about
angry?
Kid Rock?
And the Kid Rock.
What about Kiss?
And
Bob Seger, I'm sorry.
And there's two gentlemen who walk around in clown makeup.
That's right. Okay, fair enough.
I see.
But they're not angry like Eminem. Eminem's still angry.
He is still
He's
angry.
out of Detroit. He shouldn't be angry anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't live up there, does he?
No, not. I mean, he lives in Michigan, but not Detroit.
Right.
And then, of course, the fatso from Flint. That's close enough.
Michael Moore. Remember when Flint was a problem?
Flint.
They didn't talk about Detroit.
Yeah.
It was Flint was the hellhole.
Flint, Michigan.
And now it's all of Detroit as the city limits of Detroit.
Michael Moore with his dumb delivery on those documentaries. And this is where we grew up in Flint, Michigan. It always sounds depressing. Make a happy documentary, you fat fuck. Had it with him. Make something about, documentary of the making of the Super Bowl. Those are fun. They bounce so high. How did they do it?
I don't know.
Let's go to the Detroit clip. That's where this all started. But anyway, Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown. The Detroit episode is definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
And then this happened in Detroit yesterday. They still have the news, which is good.
Wow, that is handy.
You think they have one happy story a day?
The nice human interest story.
I want to see one fucking newscast from Detroit. It's got to just be mayhem.
Oh, they're just... Oh,
right.
Oh, God. Like Bob Eatman when you call him. Oh, here's the news now. Oh, boy, it's not good.
Here we go. From yesterday. This is a great clip.
WTIV Local 4 News today at 6:30 starts now.
Ooh. Oh, God.
An entire city block torched by a ferocious fire in its path, a historic downtown district. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Fire
Even the newscasters are both black. Usually they
are still trying to get
split it up.
Better look at the damage and also the cause.
Our Lauren Padella is there live where dozens of people were forced from their
fire.
homes. Lauren, good morning.
I love the green screener in front of
I don't have ID. I don't know when we're going. Neither does Jim.
What?
I can't get this fucking in there.
We apologize for that.
Oh, God. He couldn't apologize quickly. She barely said fucking, and he was already apologizing.
But that's the least of their problems up there.
Yeah.
I think they can handle a few fucks.
Holy shit, that was good.
The people around there are probably used to hearing that word every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to move there and just open a store that nobody needs.
Example?
Like beach cabana umbrellas.
Those big beach umbrellas?
Yeah, I want to open one in the downtown area. And I want to have a giant grand opening.
That'd be great.
Yeah, lawn chairs and beach cabana umbrellas.
Wow. Like the sound of that.
Pool covers. Just fun things.
Things that no one would use.
Things of leisure.
Yes.
I want to open. I want to take that warehouse, the 3.5 million foot one, and just make and rent like sell doilies that no one in all colors and shapes.
You don't think there's a big doily demand?
No.
In Detroit?
No. Some homeless guy would buy it to sleep under it.
Wipe his ass with.
He'd shite on it.
Carries it around. Wow. So is that the end of that clip? What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much. Let me go to Darrell in Michigan. Remember I told you about that neighborhood? Darrell, what's the name of that neighborhood?
It's called the Heidelberg Project.
Could you look up the Heidelberg Project? But you got to see what they're doing. They're like, fuck it, these houses are just sitting here. No one's in them. We might as well like make them into kind of like art projects. I don't think you guys are going to like the art project myself, but at least they're trying to do something, and then people are coming from all over the place just to check out these houses and what they've done to them.
Look at this shit. Get the bulldozers.
Huh?
I said when we were kids, we used to go down there in high school because we heard about it. And what was happening was the city stopped collecting the trash. So people were just piling their trash along the sidewalks and along the curbside.
Taking out the trash.
Guy that lived in the neighborhood started painting the tires and shit like that. And then he started plastering it like hubcaps onto houses and hanging bikes on trees and all this weird stuff. So
there's a boat in the middle of the park that's like painted.
This was people's neighborhood.
Why?
Yeah, but they stopped with the trash because the city's pretty, now officially bankrupt, I guess. So they decide, all right, fuck it, there's some good shit in this trash, and we'll just start making shit out of it.
But I mean, at least they're trying
house
to do
after
something.
house.
That was a long time ago. Like that was pre-internet. And now they've got like a foundation and a website and all this kind of stuff, and they're trying to get some attention around it. So it's kind of changed a little bit.
We're looking at the pictures on, Google Images, and holy fuck, man.
Dude, that was a vital neighborhood at one point.
Yeah,
that was where you went after school and went to work.
But it's like kind of a little ghost town, so they said, fuck it, why don't we do something with this shit? And people are coming and checking it out.
The other thing to check out is the Grandmont Rosedale Project.
What's that?
What that is, it's like a section of the city that was really horrible, and they're trying to rebuild it and get people to kind of come back in there, and they've got kind of nice homes. And a handful of people are just rolling the dice and saying, I'm going to move back into the city, and I get this, 2,500 square foot home for, $80,000, and I'll take my chances because it's a brand new house, and we're going to see what happens.
It's like the old days where you used to fucking go out and claim land out west, but you had to worry about the Indians coming in and fucking killing you and your family.
We should be talking about Detroit every day.
That's
There's
crazy.
some crazy shit going on up there.
Wait, they're not new houses, you mean just a new house for someone to move into, right?
What's that?
They're not new construction houses.
Well, they're remodels, and I don't know if there's any new construction, but they're supposed to be kind of upscale. I have some friends that know some people that have moved in there, and they're just kind of like
like you said, it's kind of Wild West-ish.
Right.
You know, they're the wacky, you know, I'm going to homeschool my kids anyway, so I can take this, you know.
You're getting a lot of hipsters moving up there.
Oh yeah,
hippies, hipsters, those type of people. Potheads.
I don't know what people are saying to you. The people that were on the phone talking. I've been downtown a million times. You go to Red.
Downtown.
She says downtown weird.
Downtown.
Thank you, Daryl. And someone wants to say the reason all this happened is because all the white people moved out of the city in 1968.
Fucking
Anthony
white people.
Bourdain actually took that on yesterday. He said first the white people did move out to the suburbs, and then they said on the show, then the blacks couldn't handle it either, and they started moving out.
Damn.
They hinted that the blacks could handle a little more than the white people, but then it got so bad that the blacks couldn't handle it anymore, and they started moving away.
Now what?
So
what's left?
Yeah. Well, the population is drastically down. I don't know what the high was, but they're saying about 700,000 are left.
Yeah, I'm sure there were like
what
millions.
was it at one point? Yeah.
Well over a million, yeah.
That'd be, yeah.
A couple million, maybe?
Probably.
You would think?
In the height of the fucking auto industry and shit.
Right.
An abandoned major U.S.
pumping
city.
out some Pontiacs and shit.
Basically an abandoned major city.
Yeah.
Basically.
Cool.
And getting worse by the day.
Just fucking plow it asunder. Change the name, you know?
Well...
Just like fucking, what was that airline that crashed and then they just changed the name to AirTran?
Oh, Spirit?
There you go.
Yeah.
No, it was
oh, God. Remember the fucking me at the airport losing my mind with Bob Eatman?
It's like they're putting us on AirTran. Wait, that's that fucking Value Jet. That's Value Jet, motherfucker.
The Value Jet had a horrendous plane crash, and then they just, AirTran bought them, you said?
Yeah.
And they didn't even have a spot in the airport yet.
No, it's still said like Value Jet.
And we were flying down in Atlanta, and these cheap fucks put us on an AirTran. And we've learned that they just repainted the fucking planes with a new logo. So I'm on the phone with Bob refusing to fly. I was fucking freaked out.
Yeah, it was freaky.
But I ended up going on the flight.
Yes,
and then we met the
did.
Dalai Lama, so it was all good.
Yeah. Went to a strip club.
Yeah, we did. With the girl with the nice shelf hiney.
Yeah.
With that fucking asshole saying that I need to, I don't know what I'm not going over the same thing.
Let me ask you a question about the casino in Detroit.
Right.
If you look at the area around Atlantic City, it's dog shit except for the casino, and it probably was before.
Yeah.
Except in areas like Connecticut where there's no people living right around it. In cities, Vegas. Vegas is doing very well.
Yeah, yeah.
But how about, aside from Vegas, are most casino areas doing well, or do they just purposely put them in ghettos because they're cheap?
Not sure.
Like, I'm wondering if that affects the local population in a really bad way, too.
You look at a place like Foxwoods, Mohegan.
There's nothing really around
in the
there,
middle
though.
of nowhere.
It's all woods, right?
Yeah.
Turning Stone, I think, is right outside Syracuse, and Syracuse, terrible city.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would assume Atlantic City would be a really nice area with all the money being fucking spent down
But
there.
were they shitty to begin with, though? Like, that's the question.
I think originally they thought these casinos would bring up the neighborhoods around them. And then,
probably.
And then they finally said, you know what, fuck it, who cares? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
about
who
those
cares?
people?
We'll just take their money.
Yeah, we'll just take the
Fuck
money
the
and
indigenous
not put
people.
any back into the community.
Just, it's got to go, the skim has
Because
to
Atlantic
go.
City is, I mean, I've never been to Detroit, but like that guy was explaining, you know, you go a couple blocks from the casinos and wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's a different world. If if you need gas as you're leaving a casino in Atlantic City, good luck to you.
Yeah, yeah.
We had to do that a couple times. It was sketchy as all hell. Learned our lesson. Now it's like, make sure we have enough to get out of the area.
Oh, yeah.
Before you fill up.
Well, I'd love to continue this conversation, but I'm going to fucking hit the can.
All right. So there you go.
You're going to hit the can?
I'm going to hit the can. Yeah, hit me in the can, Jim.
Oh, they're saying a lot of the Heidelberg houses are now burning down, too.
Heidelberg
Project.
Oi. Sounds cool.
Detroit was in the running to host the Olympics in the 60s.
Wow, really?
All right, that's going
What happened there?
too far back.
Jeez, what'd they lose to?
And
Gaza Strip?
Sudan.
Right. To be fair, there are a few people saying it's not that bad here, but obviously they're in.
Yeah, they're living somewhere nice.
In better areas they're trying to hold on.
Yeah.
But their finger fucking nails.
Big announcement today.
Yeah.
Goody.
Like, dude, this is a big one.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big one.
What is it?
I'll be in Albany this weekend if the Comedy Works. And I'm doing, Kamau Bell's show is canceled. W. Kamau Bell. I'm doing the final episode tonight on FXX.
Why do they cancel it?
They moved it from FX to the FX is spun off a network.
Right.
And he's had a hard time, I think, bringing an audience. But in fairness to him, there's nothing right before him. And they went to a daily show. And I think that they don't have any big hits on right before him. I'm not sure. But I think the translation, plus they're like 26 million less homes because it's a smaller network.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really hard transition to make. So, of course, the kiss of death that I am on, and it's being canceled.
That sucks.
Yeah, well, it's the Jim Norton curse.
It's alive and well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I was booked in Detroit years ago, so it happened.
Oh, boy.
We went there once for the Virus Tour, and that outdoor venue was beautiful.
It was nice.
It was nice.
And that's all we know. We were way out in the suburbs near the stadium, right, where the Lions play.
By the way, Ant has I have to shit posture. No, but I love watching him. He's sitting and I have to take a shit posture.
Just go.
All right.
Just do it.
It looked like somebody on one of the cruise ships were intentionally thrown overboard. It always makes me think of the rock court.
But we started that shit. No one ever talked about that before us.
Rock court.
All right, we'll be back.
The Opie and Anthony Show. All right, well, that sucked. To hear the Opie and Anthony Show 5 days a week live on satellite radio, online on your phone or tablet, or even on demand, go to SiriusXM.com. Also, interact with the Opie and Anthony Show on Twitter, at Opie Radio, at Anthony Cumia, and at Jim Norton.